Don Carpenter on News Talk 1270 KIML.
News Talk 1270 KIML. Don Carpenter Show. Welcome back to the program, 828. So I actually had a call during the break, and I usually don't pick up during the breaks, but I had a feeling about this one, and actually talked to a gentleman, and I think he's going to be on the line here, that wanted to talk about something that actually was on my list of things that I wanted to get to today, because it's all local stuff today, by the way. It's all state and local. Good morning. You're on the air, News Talk 1270 KIML.
Yeah, Don, I got a little rant about what Meade did the other day. He vetoed the overhaul to the asset forfeiture law. Now, it was my understanding there was like an overwhelming majority of both houses that wanted to overhaul the asset forfeiture law to where you cannot seize any assets of anything thought to have been used in a crime until there was a conviction.
Yeah, and hang on for a second. I'll give you the exact numbers because I had this ready and I was hoping we'd have time.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
This is Senate File 14. It does exactly what you said. It overhauls the asset forfeiture laws that would require someone to be convicted of a felony for the property to be taken. Now, the vote in the Senate was 26-3 and then 1 abstaining. And then the vote in the House was 54-6. So
okay, so that's a pretty good majority.
Yeah.
What bothers me, Don, is a lot of these laws and procedures we've granted to police that have eroded our due process is they do it in the name of the drug war. Well, if you'll notice in the paper the other day, Matt Meade was quoted as saying, "This is used for but not limited to drug crimes," meaning if and when they think anything has been used in the commission of a crime, they can go ahead and seize it without due process. Now, it really bothers me that Meade thinks that his analysis of whether or not the law is being abused in Wyoming was one of his criteria for vetoing it.
right, he said this was fixing a problem that didn't exist.
I think we're being proactive in fixing a problem that is going to exist.
And
as governments become more strapped for money, you'll see this being abused. It's already abused in other states and other areas of the country.
oh yeah, well, and I'll tell you a story here in a second. I'll let you finish your thought first, though.
So, if the legislature with that much majority passed that law, I would think that it's time for the legislature to nut up and say, look, a majority of the people out here believe this should be changed. It's not up to you to decide for us what is or is not going to work. I think they need to nut up and override the veto.
Well, and that's what they're working on right now. I mean, they're actually
are they really?
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Let's take a look here. I'm trying to figure out the okay, Steve Klein from the Wyoming Liberty Group has been talking with some members of the Senate and the House. I will say, even if they lose a couple votes, they still have way more than the 2/3 needed. It's 20.
Oh yeah. I mean, an override of veto it should be like a breeze.
Yeah.
It should take 30 minutes in each house. Take a vote, call it, and say there. Now.
Yeah, you would need, let's see, you'd need 20 votes in the Senate and 40 in the House. So
there's not much that we can do to curb the power of a government that is getting out of control. At the state level, no, we don't have the same problem, say, like in New York or the feds do. But still, I mean, it's just we have an ex-federal prosecutor, an ex-lawyer, that does not want to give up that power because the civil asset forfeiture law, the way it is set up now, gives total discretion to the police or the prosecutor without due process. That's just wrong. It's time to correct it, and I'd like to see it corrected, and I think they did good.
Yeah,
but now they need to not lay down and roll over, do what's right, and override that.
Yeah, well, now this started in the Senate, so the Senate would have to override first, then it would go over to the House. I mean, they have the votes. They have the votes for it. I have the the Star Tribune's version of the story, and every representative they interviewed supports the override. So
okay, good.
Yeah,
I was because I didn't hear anything about it, and I thought, wow, where's the outrage?
yeah,
You
well,
know?
and it's actually kind of funny, and I understand where Meade's coming from because look, he spent his entire life as a prosecutor. That's all he knows. So I understand where he's coming from, but I'm on your page. I think this is a good proactive measure to prevent something that will be a problem if left unchecked. I mean,
Yeah, and it's not just a drug crime. Say like you have $10,200 in your car, and you're making a deposit at your local bank. The police stop you. They see that cash.
yeah,
Boom, they're automatically going to think drugs. Although it's non-drug related, and you're breaking supposedly an IRS law if you don't declare that.
well, yeah, and you're
But
going
you're
to
making a regular cash deposit. There you go. Your cash is gone. You're automatically supposed guilty until, you go through this due process. Don't take people's stuff until they're convicted.
Well, and here's what happens. A lot of times they'll seize this money, and the people can't afford to go to court to fight. A lot of times the money will be $1,500, $2,000. It's less than it would cost to fight, and then they'll end up settling for 10% of the money. So they'll
So
keep.
here it is.
They'll
It's
keep.
another case of trying to prove a negative.
Yeah.
Which the burden of proof should not be upon the people that arrested.
Oh, yeah.
The burden of proof is on the prosecution. And Matt Meade knows that more than anybody. He
And-
just does not want to be able to have prosecutors give up that power. And it's all about the power.
Well,
Believe
and the Wyoming Association of Sheriffs and Chiefs of Police are the main force on Meade's side of this. It's actually funny, and I'll tell you a little bit of a story. Where I came back from, I moved here from Delaware. There's a little town in Delaware called Harrington, Delaware. It's right along one of the main drags. U.S. Route 13 goes north and south through the state. It's a little town, drops from 55-mile-an-hour speed limit to a 35. So of course they have speed traps set up all the time.
Yeah.
So they pull over everyone with an out-of-state tag, and every once in a while they'll find a lot of money in the person's car, and they would seize this money. The problem is there's a casino in the town. So say you go to the casino and you win $5,000. You're driving home to your home in the north part of the state or in Maryland or Pennsylvania or New Jersey, and you get pulled over. They seize your money that you won at the casino. And this has happened. This is not just
hypothetical situation.
This is not a hypothetical situation at all. It's happened at least once a month. This would happen in this little town. And I've done the searches. I've done the searches through the newspapers, and every single one of these, they settle for about 10%.
Yeah,
or they keep 100%.
That's BS, man.
Yeah, and this is something that, again, it might not be a problem here right now, but it could end up being a problem, and it probably will if we don't do something about it. So,
well, Don, I'm sure it's happened, and I'm sure it's a problem. It's just we don't hear about a lot of that.
Yeah,
people that have been treated like that usually don't tend to get on the radio or write the paper.
Yeah, well, and I will say, I mean, I'm sure it's happened. It's probably, even if it's happened one time, that's too many. And I'm sure it's happened at least one time in the state. It might not be a big problem, but it is something that does happen.
Yeah, and if I remember, didn't the Bible say something about it's better to let 100 guilty men go free than to prosecute one innocent one? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
They don't need to worry about. Anyway, it just my trigger. Okay, I'll get out the phone and listen now for a while.
Okay, well, hey, I think you might have somebody responding to you here.
Good.
Hey, thanks a lot. Okay, we'll take another call. News Talk 1270, you're on the air.
Yes. Could you find out how our own representatives voted?
Yeah, hang on a second. I'll look real quick. I know Representative Clem voted for the bill because I saw he made a post last night that he's going to support the override. Hang on a second here. I think I can find the votes on it. hopefully. Let's see. It's Senate File 14, and all the information is available at the Wyoming Legislature's website. Okay, hang on here. Senate File 14. Let's see. I think this is the roll call. No, that's not it. I just have to figure out which link goes to the. Okay, let's see. I think this is the third reading. Okay, and no, that's not it. Okay, I'm trying to find the vote for you. Why don't we do this? We'll take a break, and I'll try to find the vote, because I mean it was 26-3 with one abstaining in the Senate. It was 54-6 in the House. So
it'd be interesting to know who didn't vote and what their profession is.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I don't know everybody's professions, but I'll try to find out the at least our local representatives and senators during the break for you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, yeah, let's take a break. We'll come back and I'll hopefully have that information for you. I mean, I have all the stuff with the bill. I have the bill. I don't have the roll call for it yet, though. I'll try to find it. News Talk 1270 KIML.
The #1 talk show in Northeast Wyoming. Don Carpenter on News Talk 1270 KIML. Call Don now, 682-1270. News Talk 1270 KIML.
News Talk 1270 KIML. Don Carpenter Show. Welcome back. It's 8:45. If the caller that called during the break is on the line, just hang in there. We'll get to you in just a second. I was able to find the roll call vote for Senate File 14. This is the asset forfeiture law. And a yay vote would be in support of the law that would increase the burden on the government for asset forfeiture to a conviction instead of just being charged. So out of it was 54-6 in the House. Out of our representatives, let's see, Clem, I knew Representative Clem voted for the bill. Kasparic voted for the bill. And I think that's it for, let's see, I believe, yeah, okay. So Clem and Kasparic voted for the bill. Representative Paulnell voted against the bill. So that's how our local representatives split up there. Let's see. On the Senate side, I had this here. The Senate side, on the yay side, Senator Wasserberger. On the nay side, Senator Von Flatern. And then excused was Senator Driscoll. I think he wasn't in the Capitol yesterday. So it splits up about half and half. Again, Von Flatern voted against. Wasserberger voted for on the Senate side. Okay, let's take that call. News Talk 1270. You're on the air.
Hey, Donnie Carpenter.
Hey, Duff. What's up?
Just one quick thing. I wanted to put a shout out for the Veterans Breakfast on Tuesday morning.
Okay, over at the Senior Center.
At the Senior Center, 8 o'clock. And also, were you talking about the actual forfeiture bill, or were you talking about the vote to override the veto that's already in place?
No, this is just a vote for the bill. They haven't voted on an override yet. That probably, if it happens, it probably won't happen until next week. And
the other thing was, I was quietly chuckling. How do you like that new LSO website?
It's tough to find stuff.
Should have tried it 2 years ago. It was even worse.
I will say about 10 clicks in, I was able to find the actual vote.
Well, they've been doing a pretty good job only since I've been here in 78. They've been doing a pretty good job of everything they can do to cover their tracks on how they actually vote. They're all for.
Well, I will say, just a tip, if you go to the legislative website, all you have to do is click on the digest, and you have to dig through the digest, but you'll see the roll call votes in the digest.
Yeah, but like I said, they've been pretty good over the years about doing everything they can to make it hard to find out just exactly how they voted. Nobody wants to be publicly accountable for how they vote on anything.
Well, I mean, I will say I found it. It was just a little bit of a pain. Hey, thanks a lot, Duff.
All righty, Don.
Yep. Okay. One more time before we wrap things up here, just in case you missed it, on the House side, Clem and Kasparic voted for the bill. Representative Paul Nell voted against the bill. I think that's it I think it's 3 districts here, right? I think 3. And then on the Senate side, I have to scroll up. I think I scrolled past it. On the Senate side, Wasserberger voted for the bill. Von Flatern voted against the bill, and Driscoll wasn't in the building. He was excused. So that's how it breaks down. It was about half and half. We have time for one more call. Hey, what the hey? We'll take one more call. News Talk 1270, you're on the air.
Hey, what the hey? You forgot Eric Barlow, dude.
Oh, Barlow. Oh, Barlow. I
get outside of Gillette and you just forget they exist, don't you?
Yeah. Barlow voted for the bill.
Yes.
Okay. So, I'll read everybody in the state that voted against the bill, just because I know we get pretty far out. Yeah. On the Senate side, it was Bernard, Meyer, and Von Flatern. On the House side, it was Berger, Dayton, Harshman, Crone, Paulnell, and Walters. So those are the 9 people that voted against it out of 90.
All righty. Well, I'll let you go, but I forgot when we were talking before that we had Eric in there, and you keep forgetting him.
Yeah, I'm terrible about that. Okay, thanks a lot, Duff.
All righty.
Yep. Okay. Again, in the House, Berger, Dayton, Harshman, Crone, Paulnell, Walters. In the Senate, Bernard, Meyer, and Von Flatern. And on that, we need to get out of here. I got to get set up for Steve's store. We'll see you in just a few minutes. News Talk 1270 KIML.
Catch up on Gillette Wild Hockey News with Coach Winkler every Tuesday at 9:30. Don Carpenter on News Talk 1270 KIML.